Mercury retrograde is back, and it happens a few times a year for a few weeks at a time. Now, you've probably heard of Mercury retrograde, but guess what? It's been around forever. This is not new, but in the last decade or so in the spiritual world, we've kind of turned it into this really big thing that we make people feel like they need to run for the hills, hunker down for a few weeks, and try to avoid signing things like contracts or traveling and things like that, because sometimes Mercury can kind of cause a little bit of trouble on those things. But it's really, there's a lot of benefits to Mercury retrograde, and I want to break it all down for you right here. So let's first talk about why Mercury kind of gets a bad rap a few times a year as it goes retrograde. So Mercury and the planet in astrological terms, in a very simple form, I'm not an astrologer, so I'm going to give you kind of like a dumbed down version of that, how Mercury affects us when it goes retrograde. So when it goes retrograde for a few weeks, a few times a year, every few months, Mercury seems to kind of move a little bit backwards in its orbit and kind of pulls on the energy that planet really focuses on in our lives, which has to do with communications, travel, contracts, and technology. So a lot of times during a Mercury retrograde, you may notice your car breaks down or your computer system seem a little bit wonky. And I do see all these things actually do happen. So we're not saying that Mercury retrograde doesn't affect these things, but I don't think it's as serious as sometimes we make Mercury retrograde out to be. I see a lot of memes now on social media that are like, hunker down, Mercury retrograde is here, expect the next few weeks to go really horrible. And I kind of feel like that's giving Mercury retrograde a bad rap, because there's actually some wonderful things that do occur during this special time that if you tune into it correctly, you can really amplify a lot of incredible things, including your intuition, your connection with spirit, and your connection to your inner kind of technology, if you will, and how you connect in and listen and tune into your own energies. Mercury retrograde is also a great time to sit for a few weeks to review your life, maybe some old projects that you want to kind of step into or give life to again, and really kind of tune into yourself. And as I said before, really get an inner knowing of what you want to do when Mercury kind of goes direct, and you can kind of get back into the flow of things. But one of the things I love most about Mercury retrograde as a psychic medium is working with spirit. I actually love kind of demonstrating messages from spirit during this time. I love doing sessions during Mercury retrograde. I really feel like our vertical connection, our connection to the divine, flows really beautiful during a retrograde. So even though our horizontal, our human world communications are a little bit out of whack, you're way more in tune to the universe and the spirit than you are usually during other times of the year. So starting your spiritual practice, or say you've gotten off track with your spiritual practice, you want to get reconnected again, a Mercury retrograde is a really great time to do that. Since it's a really great time to slow down and pause on a lot of things, starting a spiritual practice, learning to meditate, feel really connected during this time can seem like the most powerful time to get these practices started. So when I feel out of alignment, I take Mercury retrograde as a chance to realign, reconnect, review, and even reignite my passion for things that may have seemed like they've stepped aside. So as I often say, Mercury retrograde isn't really about horizontal communication. It is the time when our connection with spirit is amplified. It's ready to be more passionate about the things that you want to love and do in your life, and really set some good goals so that when Mercury goes direct again, you can feel like you're back in the flow, and that those kind of review items are ready to start up. So I hope that helps you feel a little bit more positive about kind of being in a Mercury retrograde time. Don't be discouraged. Just take the time to nurture yourself, reconnect with yourself, and all the beautiful things that you want to have in your life right now. It's such an exceptional time for that. And keep track of the calendar, because it does happen a few times a year, and you might as well know when it's going on so you know when to kind of get recentered, refocused. It's a time of as we would say. I hope that helps give a little fun breakdown of Mercury retrograde. And when you are in these beautiful times, that you really take an advantage of the beautiful gift that Spirit is giving you. So I hope you have a gorgeous day. And if you have any questions about Mercury retrograde, pop them here in the comments. Don't forget to click and subscribe for more videos and teachings from me as we move forward here and reconnect. Take care.